In a beautiful little village surrounded by green fields, colorful flowers, and tall trees, there stood a tiny old house beside a narrow flowing canal. The water of the canal moved gently past the house, making a soft, peaceful sound. Every morning, birds sang from the trees. Children ran through the green fields, laughing and playing. Butterflies danced around the flowers while farmers worked in the nearby fields. T was a simple village, but it was full of life. At the edge of the village lived a poor family. There was a father named Amir, his wife Nadia, and their two children, Rayan and Mina. The family did not have much money. Their house was small, their furniture was old, and sometimes they had to work very hard just to buy enough food. But they were happy because they had something more valuable than money. They had each other. Their little house had only 2 rooms. One was their living room and bedroom. The other room had remained locked for many years. Nobody in the family went inside. One evening, Rayan looked at the old wooden door. "Mom, why is this room always locked?" Nadia looked at the door and sighed. "Your grandfather used to keep his old things in there. After he passed away, we simply stopped opening it." Mina became curious. "What do you think is inside?" Amir smiled. "Probably just some old boxers and broken furniture." But none of them knew that behind that door was a mystery waiting to be discovered. One rainy afternoon, Amir was cleaning the house when he noticed that the old door was no longer properly locked. He called the children. "Rayan, Mina, come here." The 2 children hurried over. Amir slowly placed his hand on the rusty handle. Creak! The door opened. Everyone became silent. A cold breeze moved through the room. Mina stepped back. "Whoa!" Rayan stared inside. The room was almost completely dark, but when Amir opened the window, sunlight entered the room. And then they saw it. The walls were covered with spider webs. Webs were hanging from the ceiling. Webs stretched between wooden boxers. Webs covered old chairs. Some were large and round. Others were thin and messy. There were hundreds of them. Mina whispered, "How did spiders make all of these?" Rayan moved closer. "Wait. How can something so tiny make something like this?" Amir looked carefully. "That is a very good question." The children suddenly had dozens of questions. Where does the spider get the thread? How does it make the web? Does it make the web with its mouth? Why are some webs round? Why are some webs messy? How does a spider know where to put every thread? And why doesn't the spider get stuck in its own web? Amir smiled. "I think we need someone who knows much more about spiders." The next morning, Rayan and Mina decided to find the answer. Their father told them about an elderly science teacher named Mr. Farid, who lived on the other side of the village. Mr. Farid was famous for knowing about animals, insects, plants, and nature. The children began walking. They crossed the small wooden bridge over the canal. They passed green fields. They walked beneath tall trees. Along the way, they saw children playing football. Some girls were picking colorful flowers. Birds flew above them. The village looked especially beautiful after the rain. Finally, they reached Mr. Farid's small house. They knocked on the door. Knock, knock, knock. Mr. Farid opened the door. "Mina, what brings you here?" Rayan excitedly said, "Sir, we discovered something amazing." Mina added, "Our house has a room full of spider webs." Mr. Farid smiled. Then I think you have discovered one of nature's greatest little engineers." Rayan asked his first question. "Sir, where does a spider get the thread for its web?" Mr. Farid explained. "A spider produces a special material called silk inside its body." The children listened carefully. Spiders have special organs called spinnerets near the end of their abdomen. These spinnerets help release silk. Mina's eyes became wide. "So the spider carries the material inside its own body?" "Exactly," said Mr. Farid. "The silk begins as a liquid-like substance inside the spider. When it comes out through tiny openings in the spinnerets, it becomes a strong fiber. Rayan looked amazed. So spiders are like tiny silk factories. Mr. Farid laughed. That's a very good way to think about it. Rayan quickly asked, but how does the spider actually build the web? Mr. Farid picked up a small stick and drew a simple diagram in the soil. Different spiders build different kinds of webs, but many web-building spiders begin by creating a strong starting line. He explained that a spider may release silk and allow a strand to catch onto a nearby surface. Once the spider has an anchor point, it can create more silk lines. Then it builds supporting threads. After that, some spiders create the familiar spiral-shaped catching threads. Step by step, the web takes shape. Mina looked surprised. So, the spider doesn't just throw silk everywhere? No, said Mr. Farid. It uses a kind of natural building process. The spider uses its legs and body to position and attach the silk. Rayan smiled. It's like building a tiny house. Mr. Farid nodded. Mina asked, why does the spider need a web? Mr. Farid pointed toward a small flying insect. Many spiders build webs to catch prey such as flies and other small insects. The web can act like a net. When an insect flies into the sticky threads, the spider may feel vibrations traveling through the silk. Rayan suddenly understood. So, the spider doesn't always have to see the insect. Correct, said Mr. Farid. The vibrations can tell the spider that something has touched the web. Mina whispered. That's incredible. Mr. Farid smiled. Nature has many amazing inventions. Rayan suddenly remembered another question. Sir, if the web is sticky, why doesn't the spider get stuck? Mr. Farid laughed. That is one of the most interesting things about spider webs. He explained that not every thread in a web is equally sticky. In many orb webs, some structural threads are not coated with the same sticky material as the capture spiral. Spiders also move carefully across the web and use specialized body features and behaviors that help them avoid becoming trapped. Mina looked toward the canal. So, the spider knows where to walk? Yes, said Mr. Farid. It's very good at navigating its own web.
Mina asked, why did we see round webs in our room? Mr. Farid explained, some spiders create beautiful circular webs called orb webs. These webs often have radial lines extending from the center, like the spokes of a wheel. Then the spider adds curved spiral threads. Rayan imagined the web so it looks like a bicycle wheel. Mr. Farid smiled. Exactly. But remember, not all spiders build orb webs. Some make messy cobweb-like webs. Some build funnel-shaped webs. Others create sheet-like webs or use silk in completely different ways. The children realized something important. Not all spiders were builders of the same kind. Rayan asked, is spider silk really strong? Mr. Farid nodded. Spider silk is famous for being incredibly strong for its weight. Scientists have studied spider silk for many years because of its unusual combination of strength and flexibility. Mina looked amazed. So something made by a tiny spider can be stronger than we think? Yes, said Mr. Farid. Yes, said Mr. Farid, and that's why scientists are interested in understanding it. Rayan looked at his hands. I never thought something so small could make something so amazing. That afternoon, Rayan and Mina rushed home. They opened the old room again. This time, they weren't frightened. They looked carefully. In one corner, they noticed a small spider moving across the wall. The spider stopped. Then it released a tiny strand of silk. It moved slowly. The strand stretched toward another surface. Rayan whispered, it's starting to build. Mina watched closely. The spider moved back and forth. It attached silk. It changed direction. It added more strands. Little by little, the structure began to grow. Rayan smiled. Now I understand. Mina nodded. It isn't just making a web. It's building a trap and a home. That evening, the family sat beside the canal. The sun was setting behind the trees. Golden light reflected across the water. Rayan told his father everything they had learned. Amir listened proudly. So, he said, what did you learn from the spiders? Rayan thought for a moment. They taught us that being small doesn't mean being weak. Mina added, and that great things can be created one tiny step at a time. Nadia smiled. That is a beautiful lesson. The family looked toward their little house. The mysterious room was no longer frightening. IT had become a place of discovery. The next morning, Ryan opened the window of the old room. Sunlight entered. A spider web near the window sparkled like silver. Tiny drops of water from the morning air rested on the silk. For a moment, it looked like thousands of tiny stars were hanging in the room. Mina whispered, "It's beautiful." Ryan smiled. "Yesterday, I thought spiderwebs were just dirty old strings. Now I know they are incredible pieces of nature's engineering." And from that day on, whenever the children saw a spider web, they didn't simply see a web. They saw science. They saw patience. They saw engineering, and they remembered that sometimes the smallest creatures can teach us the biggest lessons. Never underestimate something because it is small. A tiny spider can create a remarkable structure using nothing more than silk produced by its own body. Nature is full of incredible mysteries, and sometimes all we need to do is stop, look closely, and ask questions.